Okay, guys, I want to share Luke chapter 15, verse 25. Something I've been listening to in a sermon, and I'm not done yet. So I was talking to a friend recently and basically just shared that I don't really teach. I don't teach men. I can tell somebody what I think, but I really don't believe in women pastors. And because there's qualifications to be a woman pastor, right? You have to, I'm going to move up in my chair. You have to, it's all throughout the Bible. It's a man, and he has to be the husband of one wife. He has to have certain qualifications to meet this standard, not to be a man who's given to anger, not to be a man who doesn't have his own house in order. So it's all about the men, right? Well, not all of it. I mean, the pastoring is. But we have a role. We influence men. We can help them. We can support them, encourage them. But it's the men who teach. So they are usually, men work really hard. Pastors work hard at the word, discerning it appropriately, correctly. You don't want to be in a church where they're not discerning it rightly, or where there's a woman pastor. Okay, so I was listening to this man, and he was talking about this passage, and I love it. He was saying that this is the story of the prodigal son, right? And, I really enjoyed his sermon because I didn't see all the detail of this. In order for somebody back then to say, give me my inheritance now, he was pretty much saying, I want my father dead. And that was pretty disrespectful. And I guess the father had a right to bring him to the town and give him a beating and shame him and everything for being that way. And this father didn't do this. And this represents the love God has for us. Instead, he let him go. Let him have his inheritance. Let him squander it all. I mean, he even thought the pig's food looked good after a while because he needed to come to his senses. And finally he does, and he repents. Okay, so we hear that story a lot, and the father just is running to him, which would have been shameful in the day. But he actually sprinted to him and was waiting for him. He wasn't he could have, I guess he had the right to, they basically felt he was dead, and he could have brought him back to the town and given him another beating or so and had him earn his position back as a son. But instead he celebrates and has a huge party for him, and he celebrates. Now, we don't hear much about the older brother, okay? In this story, in this sermon that I'm listening to now, the older brother becomes angry and refuses to go in. But he says, look at all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed you. So we know right there that's not true, right? We know someone doesn't obey perfectly. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, and he doesn't say my brother, which I thought was interesting, but this son of yours, so he tries to blame it on the father in a way, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, comes home, you kill the fatted calf for him? My son, the father said, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. So we see here that basically it was right to celebrate. And the brother, I think he was jealous. I think he was probably afraid of him getting some of his property. And, there's compassion here. The father has compassion. He loves both sons, but he has compassion on the one that really messed up his life. And that is how we should be. But you will see, as I was listening to this man, that there is a false religion in here with this older son. He is work-based. He has no real love for his father. He doesn't really care. He doesn't really care about his brother. And he's just worried about the rules. And any religion that is, based on the rules instead of grace, you're going to find his faults. So, to not even have a heart, to not care about the heart of saying, basically look at everything your brother went through. And the Pharisees, they probably had this mindset of, yeah, he doesn't deserve to come back. Look at him. Christ gives us what we don't deserve. That's what he does. He gives us what we don't deserve, and he pours his grace on us. And even when we hated God, he died for us. And that's the gospel. Even when we hated him, we were his enemy, he gave us everything. He gave us the whole entire world. When we believe in him, there's nothing he withholds from his child. So we should be people of grace, because that's how God treats us. He's like this loving father who is hurt that his son left, and he puts everything first for this son. He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about the cost, his reputation, nothing. He loves his son so much. And that is the type of people and parents we should be.